Asus ROG 2 is the most powerful Android smartphone right now with an Antutu benchmark score of almost 500,000, and I bought one myself, and of course I also did the test on my phone, the Asus ROG 2, the same variant 12512, and the result was, well, for that I think we will need boss music. Yes, it surpassed its own score and now it's on the top, which is the same variant, by the way, same as the listed below. And obviously it will not be posted if I have to state the obvious. Defeated 99% of the user, and the 1% I think is this device itself. And iOS devices are not listed here. This is just a list of Android phones because the fourth factor is the operating system, and obviously you can't compare an Android and an iOS device in terms of this results. But if it is done only based on CPU and GPU, I think iPhone 11 Pro will be on the top due to that A13 Bionic chip. That nothing can beat that in the Android. I'm talking about up to Snapdragon 855 Plus, not the new one which is not yet released, also the new GPU. Snapdragon 865 and Adreno 650 GPU, those are only announced now. They are not implemented on any phone in the market, if I'm right. And I don't think it will take that long. It will probably arrive in next few months. So till then, Asus ROG 2 will be for now on the top in Android smartphones. Now let's talk about how it handles the games that I play. I play War Robots, PUBG Mobile, COD Mobile, and also I downloaded Shadowgun Legends because the 3 games that I play can't reach the 120 FPS limit, and Shadowgun Legends can, so to test it I downloaded that game too. So I will now talk about how it performs in this phone. So first of all, about the display of this phone, it has 120Hz AMOLED screen and 240Hz touch response. And I switched from Pocophone F1 to this phone, so my experience, it is just a divine experience, and my eyes are blessed whenever I look at this phone. It cannot record, I'm shooting from Pocophone F1, so it's only 60 FPS, and it cannot, so bear with me just. And I always set the screen at 120Hz. You have the option to either set at 60, 90 or 120, so I always keep it at 120. And there's a specific thing I would like to mention. The headphone jack, you can only get that by like equipping this Aeroactive cooler. So if you're buying the small variant, you will have to buy this Aeroactive cooler separately if you want the headphone jack on the side port, or the charging port will be there even without that, because of course there is one headphone jack in the bottom, but when you play games like PUBG and COD and you plug in headphone jack, like it's not that comfortable to play. So yeah, you may want one headphone jack on the side. So yeah, that's information is for that. And now finally talking about the gameplay performance. So all games that I play runs at max frames per second that they can. War Robots, PUBG and COD at 60 frames per second. Yes, even War Robots. I was kind of surprised that it does. And there is no lag at all. I'm talking about rendering lag, not the server. Like it depends on your connection or the game server, so I'm not talking about the connection. I'm only talking about rendering, the graphics. For COD, it can run it at max quality of graphics and also max refresh rate without any problem, and it still gives almost constant 60 frames per second, just few minor drops once in a while, which is very normal. It will be like that in every phone, I think. In PUBG, I tried it with all settings. It can only go up to HDR and 60 FPS, which is max frames per second in that. So yeah, but it cannot go run at that Ultra HD. I don't even think it's even unlocked for any phone right now. And these are the games that I play daily, regularly. So don't judge my skills based on this gameplay. By the way, I'm still getting used to this big screen. So yeah, and the FPS drops in PUBG was a little more when there was a heated situation. It dropped to 40 FPS once, I guess, for a while, and then it went back. So yeah, there's not like a major drop, I will say. And none of these games can support 120 FPS, so I had to download Shadowgun Legends, which can. and yeah, it was running at 119 and 120 fps, like almost close to 120 fps. Sometimes there was a drop of up to 100 fps. I mean, it was running at 100 fps, not not, yeah, I hope you get it what I'm trying to say. And now if you noticed, I didn't show you any clip recording of War Robots and Shadowgun Legends. Well, now I will explain why. So there's a problem with the screen recorder, or a bug I will say, which is bugging me since day one, which is like whenever you start recording, it will set the refresh rate of screen to 90 Hz. And if you go to settings, it will say these are always there on the bottom. So yeah, you are not allowed to change it back to 120 Hz while recording. And it says it's because of the external screen, which I think it's like considering the screen recorder which is drawing over the game as an external screen, or maybe it is supposed to be that way, I'm not sure, but I think it's a bug. It should be only this way when you are screen mirroring or something. And I'm really sorry about this weirdly cropped clip. It's because this KineMaster editing app on my Android can't take clips over 60 fps. So yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, what I was saying, yeah, so games like Shadowgun Legends run at max 90 fps because it can, and COD and PUBG runs at 60 fps without any problem. But when there will be a 120 fps support option, so they will also run at 90 instead of like 120. So I see that as a problem. Like, I'm recording, so I want the game to run at the max frames per second, which is 120, and also record it at that same time. So yeah, that's something. Well, it's very specific for people who record their games like me. It will not affect people who just play games. But also it can't be an excuse. So the screen recorder do have a problem which needs to be fixed, and it's just a software problem, so it can be fixed through an update. So it is not a major problem related to the phone and the hardware. Like, it's surely unbeatable in terms of hardware performance, but yeah, just this one specific screen recorder software, this needs to be fixed as soon as possible. And about War Robots, when the screen is set to 90 Hz, the FPS drops to 45. That's because the auto adjustment graphics of the game, like, you are not allowed to adjust the graphics manually by yourself. So that game like auto adjust the FPS to 45 when it can run at 60 FPS even in a 90 Hz display. So wow, if I'm not the luckiest person, then who is? Because the only game that I feature mostly on my channel can't be recorded at 60 frames per second while I'm playing. Well, I know War Robots will not optimize the game. I have tried a lot saying that in the past. So if Asus allows 120 Hz refresh rate while recording, this can be fixed even with War Robots. So I'm counting on Asus. I hope they really do fix the screen recorder. Like I said, I've even like DM'd them in Twitter. I have seen they respond to Twitter DMs and problems. So they have even responded. They said they have recorded the feedback. Well, they say it all the time, but I really hope they have done it, and I really hope we will even see the result of this screen recorder being fixed. So I will definitely tell it in a video if it does, but for now, yeah, that's the video. So the purpose was to tell about the hardware performance and then how the games that I play are performing. So with that, I think I have covered everything I wanted to. So thanks a lot for watching, and yeah, I will see you on the next one.